delicious, open-faced Middle Eastern pies that you are just going to love. Hey folks, I'm Lynn Bloor from linsfood.com and Singaporean Malaysian recipes.com. These are on linsfood.com. These are Sfeeha, also known as Lahm Ajeen. Every family, every region is going to have it or going to make it a little different. This is the way I make it, I teach it, I cook it, I eat it. In my last video, we made a super quick dough for when you're in a hurry. Now that dough is perfect to make our Sfeeha. Simple, basic dough topped with a mix of minced lamb or minced beef if you prefer, with tomatoes, with onions. So easy. Make the dough while the dough is proofing for the initial 20 minutes. You mix the filling and then you create the balls, let them rest for 10 minutes, flatten, top with our meat mixture, bake for 12 to 15 minutes. That's it, you're done. And they'll keep overnight in the fridge or place them in the freezer for up to 3 months if you don't eat them all. So while the yeast is proofing for this dough, we start making our filling. Start with chopping up the tomatoes finely. You can do this by hand or you can do this in a food chopper, that's up to you. Then we drain excess liquid from the chopped tomatoes because we don't want our pastry soggy. Dip the tomatoes into the bowl with the minced meat, then add all the other ingredients, so the onions, the parsley, all our spices, salt, pepper, tomato paste, olive oil, and our pomegranate molasses. Full list of ingredients is below this video. Mix it all up well and set it aside. When our dough has had its second proofing, the 10 minutes after you formed the balls, preheat the oven, grease your baking tin and then flatten each ball. Now this is an optional step. Glazing the edges of the pastry with beaten egg. This is completely up to you. I skip it most of the time. Then flatten a small amount of the minced meat mixture. Repeat with all the dough balls. And then place your topped pastry rounds onto your greased baking dish. Here is a different shape, slightly fancy. Pinch 4 parts of your pastry round together to form this beautiful open-faced pastry cup. And once again, place it on your greased baking dish. And now, yet another different way of making Sfeeha. These are mini Sfeeha. I make them very often for clients. So you roll out the pastry dough, cut out your shapes, and then just same again, top with your mincemeat mixture. Flatten and bake in your preheated oven. These tiny ones want to be baked for only about 10 minutes, give or take, depending on how hot your oven runs. The bigger ones, bake them for 12 to 15 minutes until they're a beautiful shade like this. There you go. That was easy, right? Homemade Sfeeha, so easy. You are going to love these. Make them, tag a friend who will just eat 10 of them at once. Don't forget to brag in the comments. Enjoy. I shall see you guys real soon.